Hey everyone, welcome back to another Women's Music Month virtual event hosted by We Are Memphis Music with the Stax Museum of American Soul. I am so excited to have Kia Johnson here with me tonight to talk about the Stax Music Academy session singers and the release of their brand new single. We have got an interview with them coming up, and Kia, you are their teacher. Like, you have guided them through this whole process. So I just thought you and I should kick this thing off and give a little context for what everyone is about to experience. So, I mean, tell us about, most people probably know a little bit about SMA, but this feels like a different experience, the class that these young women have been through together. So tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, thanks again so much for having us. I always love to see your face and support you in everything that you do. And we're still celebrating Women's Month, so I'm thrilled to be a part of this process. So we all know we've been in the pandemic, and at the end of last year, when we realized that school wasn't going to return to normal, I just really started to brainstorm. How can we keep our students engaged? How can we keep them excited to come
at the
to
end of
SMA,
last year, when we realized that school wasn't going to return to normal, I just really started to brainstorm. How can we keep our students engaged?
Powerhouse
Pandemic,
and
at the end
of singers, dancers, but we weren't going to be able to do that, and we didn't know how long that was going to be. So, what were some other ways? And I just started to think about everything that Stax is about Stax Records. It's about session singing. It's about recording, and I thought that was a great opportunity to create a brand new ensemble. Originally, it was supposed to be co-ed, but all females auditioned. I said, you know what? This kind of feels a little special. So it ended up being an all-female group. And the goal was to teach them from the beginning to the end of how to be a session singer. So there's more to the music industry than just being a superstar, right? There's session work. We all know tons of people in Nashville that do that for a living, in LA, in New York. And I wanted to open them up to that possibility, understanding studio etiquette, understanding production, understanding the writing, understanding going into a studio, how you don't touch the board, just different little things that I thought we could start to teach the kids a lot younger. So that's what we started to do. And from that, we created a song, and we knew Women's Month was coming up. So the goal was always to have a song ready for Women's Month.
That's awesome. And we're going to play the song before we get into the interview with the young artist tonight. But, and I know that we're going to get to hear directly from them about kind of writing this song and their creative process. So I guess before we turn it over to them, I'd just love to hear from you. Like, what has surprised you the most, do you think, about this, it's been almost a year that you've spent with them? Like, what's been surprising to you?
Everything. I think in the beginning, us adults were so afraid of how are the kids going to handle this pandemic. Children are the most adaptable, and they're going to be mad I'm calling them children, but y'all are, you're under 18. They are the most adaptable beings ever. And they inspired me many days because it's been hard as an adult just going through this. So everything about them, their excitement, their creativity, they have a voice. They know what's going on. They're not blind. And to get their perspective of being young women in a world that, a lot of times is not fair to women. And then being young women of, color, it was mind blowing to see the things that they've even experienced and seen and hear it from their voices and their perspective. So I'm inspired by them. I'm getting chill bumps just thinking about it. It was a beautiful experience. The video is just heartwarming, and I just can't wait for you all to see it.
Awesome. Wow. I'm excited. So we are, without further ado, going to check out Sistas, the new single from the SMA session singers. And then we're going to hear from them as they are interviewed by the fabulous Memphis media maven, Kim Clark. So thanks for tuning in, and let's turn it over to the session singers.
Stories way too long. If only I could tell you why we wrote this song. To tell you about the fight that lifted us and made us go. Forget about the many men, do only half as strong. Kirsten,
a woman's power is unbelievable. She can do things you've never seen before. She can do this and that, even when the world don't got her back. She got the world on her back now. Tell me what you think when you think of a woman. Strong, never frightened, always overcoming. Yeah.
And I know that it might get rough, but you feel like giving up. But at the end, we all stand up and we can rise together.
Tell your daughters, tell your sisters, you must be proud. When you see us walking, ooh, shout out. Just as free as you please, independent and free, and all can see. Sisters.
Let's get out the minds, keeping us out of the times. They're trying to whine, trying to figure out the lies. They know that we stay on our grind. They justify calling our bodies a crime. Men sitting up on their horses. You think you have a choice, we're not your choices. You think you're listening clearly, you're blurring our history. This world isn't for your ignorance forcing. All women in me, we are the forces. We're not horses that you ride on. Pull out my sidearm.
Oh, we're not horses that you ride on. Pull out my sidearm.
Hut 1, Hut 2, women coming through. Hut 3, Hut 4, we're breaking down the door. You see this women dominating every view. There's not too many out here who can top our skill. And to the ladies, if they ever try to tear you down, you just gotta stand proud, give them your best smile. And don't worry about the ones who wanna see you fall, cause they just wanna see you fail, you gotta prove them wrong.
I know it hurts, but you can get up. Stay on your grind when the times get tough, girl. And know you are enough, girl.
Women make the world go round, a brand new sound, something that is world renowned. We keep the crown, the actors, the singers, the movers, the dreamers. We be them and make him. Without us, there's nothing. We come in different colors, shapes, and different sizes. We keep it all together when the world is divided. Amazing, beautiful, courageous, and different. All words to describe the MVP women.
Yeah, we independent, young women, driving through where anything to kill at opposition. Kicking doors off a man, why they kick us in the? Trying to take a big jump so they make it bigger. I'm not who you think I am, yeah, I'm better than that. I'm not just any vision, I'm clearer than that. We got the will and the grit, brushing up on your facts. I'm better than that. It's how much you get with our class. Yeah.
Hello, everyone. I'm Kim Clark with WMCX 5, and I'm here interviewing some very talented ladies from Stax Music Academy about a project that they have undertaken for a very special month. What's the month, ladies?
Women's History Month.
That's right. So, first of all, what is the name of the group here we got? Sistas.
Sistas.
Triple S.
Triple S. All right. So let's start off by how this project came about and what was the reason to do this song and the video. You want to start, Violet?
Well, I would just say that it started because Women's History Month is a month that should be celebrated.
To do this song and the video. You want to start, Violet?
And all of us are active in music and enjoy doing music, so we kind of just put that together, and this was the outcome, and it was great.
Wonderful. So, what did you all write the lyrics and the music together? How did that process work out?
So we started by getting a beat. We actually had a choice of 3 beats after basically saying how we wanted the song to go. We kind of went for an old school feel, it was giving us Lady Marmalade,
Yeah.
So once we got the beat, we pretty much all listened to it, and then kind of just came up with our own flow. And somehow it all went together and came to what it is now. And I think it turned out great. So.
And you all collaborated with the lyrics too, right?
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Yes.
Wonderful. So what was was there like a certain word or an idea that came to mind that started it really flowing for y'all? Or go ahead.
Okay, so like, cause we had kind of like water bucket from the start, so we just went around in the Zoom call, of course, and just said 3 words that really stood out to us, and it was like women, environment, and what was the other?
I think it was like
Together, independence, something powerful like that.
Right.
So we just went with that and ran with it, and we just came up with our lyrics of how we felt like women empowerment was created and was, and we just created our song that way.
Okay. And you know, when you nowadays when you think about creative processes, you gotta think about COVID too and protocols. What was that like working through that for you guys?
For us, it was kind of weird at first because even when we were collaborating with our lyrics and when we finally got to meet in person, because we were on Zoom for the majority of the planning, and meeting in person, we still had to social distance and we couldn't get with each other like we could. So it was hard, but I still think the outcome was great.
Yeah, sometimes it feels a little awkward. Sometimes you want to hug somebody, you're like, hey, okay, yeah, all right, all right. Now, how did you get go about recording and filming the video step by step? If you can sum that up, and I mean, what was the creative process?
It was a kind of a bunch of different things along the way. Even when we were filming a certain film, we were already planning for what's going to be happening and stuff. Even when we were working with that, and it was very fun. We shot a lot and over again, and just multiple, like a bunch of scenes that, of course, they picked the best ones, but I'm sure there's some bloopers and stuff because, it was just a really fun process.
Okay. What about studio etiquette? Did you learn anything about that?
Yes, we definitely did. We got experience with that. I want to say around our first time of getting into the video process, which was very interesting because we had like tech issues along the way. And a few of us actually are new, so it was kind of like, it was different, you know? Like, you had to get used to the different transitions and being in front of the camera, and then as far as being in the studio, how do I, speak into the mic, all of that, you know? And then trying to get it right the first time because of COVID, like the limited time that you have.
Yes.
It's annoying, but it came out good.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Rachel, what was it like for you to get together with everybody and film this and do all this together with all these restrictions and everything? What was it like for you?
Well, I just know that I missed everybody so much, so much. And when we got together, it was like I never knew how much I missed everybody until they were gone.
Right.
And it was just an amazing experience. And I love that we still get to continue doing music, even though we're in the times that we are in, because music is such an important thing in like a lot of people's lives. It needs to be ministered through us. And I'm just very grateful that we have somewhere to do that.
Wonderful. Well, I want to hear from each of you on this one. What did you learn? What has benefited you doing this particular project? What have you learned? What developments? What kind of developments have you felt in yourself growing from this experience? Let's start with you.
Well, for me, because I just joined Stax, I want to say a couple months ago, so I'm one of the newer people. And at first, music had always been big for me in my life, but then as I got to kind of sit back and watch the music kind of come together and all the steps, you have your writing and your studio time, and it's much more than I thought it was. So it kind of gave me a sense of appreciation for all of the artists that do this full time because of how much it takes. And it just kind of solidified for me that this is something that I do want to do.
Okay. All right.
So for me, I really enjoyed it. Like, we learned a lot. I learned a lot because I'm not really the type to just be engaging and, learning to work in groups and learning to write in groups. Like, I'm a songwriter, but I'm used to just doing it all by myself, So I enjoyed it. I thought it was really great. And then the fact that it's different, learning on Zoom. And I think that our personalities are, like, all so different that we had so much fun. So I think the biggest thing for me was working with other people and not just being alone,
Collaborating. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Rachel?
Well, I think collaboration was a big part of it as well because I'm like, Kirsten, I'm not very great at songwriting. So, during working together with everybody else and having like their different inputs on the song made it 100 times better than anything I could do by myself. And I'm appreciative.
Yeah, well, did you learn you could write a little bit too?
Yeah.
So you did.
See?
Yeah.
All right. All right. What about you, Morgan?
Okay. One thing that I really like learned and appreciated was like time and time management because like I suffer a lot with that.
Me too.
So learning how to like take time out and then do things so it can all be completed and stuff like that, it helped me a lot. And then another thing was like to stop being like very reserved and shy because basically me growing up, a closed mouth don't get fed. So so just having to get out of my shell and to get the song done and using other people's inputs to use it to mine and bring my ideas to their greatness help. So yeah.
Okay. Noah? Is it Noah? Yeah, Noah.
I'm a very shy person and I'm very closed off to people. So I do rather work in groups, but when I work in groups, I usually just sit back and like silently give my input. And so working with like other people, especially like women, young women, who love doing music, it kind of like brought like my confidence out a little bit, and I was able to do things in this process that I thought that I would never be able to do. So I'm very happy that I'm doing this.
All right, sis, Zipporah, what did you learn?
Well, I learned a lot because I mean this was a long process. Like when we were working on Zoom, and everything was so. Because I actually missed the first meeting for this entire group, and so I was just kind of like, oh my gosh, like what am I supposed to do? So then I joined the next meeting, and then I wrote one of the verses for that particular part, and my part was a little different than everybody else's apparently, but it's so funny how like
how was your part different?
Well, I didn't really notice that much, but I guess the sound was a little different. And the pace was a little different. And like Rachel said, that Rachel's not that good at songwriting, but it's kind of like, because this is a whole group. And even if it's so little, it's so big with this entire group. And it's so, any little thing, any like little tiny thing is really, really good. And just like shouting out any ideas, like any ideas about harmony or any ideas about we can change this lyric even if it's bad, and like speaking up a little bit in this group is like really like learned. And is kind of like comfortable too.
For me, I learned how to build a bond because, like Rachel and Kirsten said, well, I don't think Kirsten said this, but I didn't. I never really saw myself as writing a lyric for a song or writing a verse for a song. And then as the weeks grew and we started meeting, I got to build a bond with everybody because everybody put your ideas together. And then I love my group because they empower each other. We encourage each other. Hey, if you don't think this is right, you can try this out, or you know. And then I wasn't able to go to the recording due to Deaf and Family, but I went to the filming, and then I had so much fun with all these young, future empowering women, and you know, just building a bond with my sisters and everybody else. I loved it.
Yeah. I would say for me, it's also about collaboration. Like, I'm an only child, and also with COVID, I'm always at the house alone. It's just me and my dog. So, being like having people around you that are supportive of you will give you good feedback. It's just everything, and it was really exciting to be in this.
Wonderful. Well, you know, I'm very familiar with Stax Music Academy, not as familiar as you guys are, but one of the things that I love is the collaboration aspect of the kids getting together and doing and doing things they love, which is music. But what was it like? I mean, I heard you all saying how you all empowered each other. You know, you don't run into that a lot with women sometimes. We don't back each other up. So how did you all learn how to do that, to work together through this?
I mean, well, like I said, the personalities, like everybody, every single last one of them have like an amazing personality, and what one person lacks, the other has. You know? And like we're able to back each other up like that. And for the most part, we saw it as fun. We didn't see it as like,
competition.
This again, you know, word competition
Yeah.
has to be better than, you know, we had fun. So
Good.
I think that's really all that mattered, and it helped.
So how's this going to help you down the road, do you think?
Well, I think that it will help us a tremendous amount because we don't get really that much experience as young people to work in the studio.
Mm-hmm.
And if we do want to pursue music in the future, that is a huge chunk of what we will be doing in our career. And with our instructor, Ms. Kia, she basically just went through everything that we need to know. And then we even had a sit down, and they basically gave us a crash course on music business, telling us everything we need to know, how to split up the profit and stuff. It was just
That's great.
They just gave us a lot of great tips.
That's wonderful.
And I think just like she said, working together, and a lot of this stuff like this, you may not realize it, but it's good for your resume. Like if you wanna be in music, I think we did every aspect of it. We went through videos, recording, we went through all of it, the entire process. So if you want to do this, like I feel like we pretty much covered it all.
That's
so you
wonderful.
have at least a piece of something you can take away and use it in your music career.
Right. How about Noah and Sephora? What is the message? What do you think of the main message of the song that you want listeners to hear and take away from this?
Well, every person has very different ways to interpret a song. Like however the song is. If the song is like, the song can have a totally different meaning, but it can mean something way bigger to someone else, even if the song isn't that big to you. But the specific lyrics, because in one of the lyrics, it's like basically people trying to cover up amazing things that women have done over the histories, and that what's not talked about and what is talked about, and certain things like even like this really cool stuff that companies do for Women's Month, putting little videos of every single thing, at least little bits of what women have done, is absolutely amazing. And that's what some of the lyrics, most of the lyrics, because this song is for Women's Month, have in the song.
I definitely agree. I feel like when I wrote my verse, I was just thinking of like all the pain and the heartache and the tears and the bloodshed that women have gone through over hundreds and hundreds of years, and how many other women have suffered and no one's ever knew anything about it. And about, it's not about like, oh, we want to like overpower men or we want to be better than them. It's about how we want to be equal to men. We want to see eye to eye on things, and I feel like a lot of people don't get that. And like she said, I feel like to some people the song might not be big, but to other people, to other females, to other women who like do music, it's like a really big like difference.
Right. Now I know you're new to Stax, right? But tell me in general what the Music Academy means to you, and how it's helping you. How do you think it'll help you in the big picture?
Well, for me, Stax Music Academy, it's less of an academy and more of just like a family, because everyone here knows everyone, and especially just walking down the halls, it's like, hey, how you doing? Hey, what's up? And you never feel like you're not there and being included. And then you just add a music element to it, which for me is really big because music is a big part of my life. And for people who want to go into music careers but don't have like the options that a lot of people have, this school is a great opportunity for it, because you're not just sitting in a classroom talking about, oh, this is your key signature, this is how you identify your scale. You are actually in the studio and you're recording the videos and you're writing the songs and
you're figuring it out.
You're doing, and it just gives really good opportunities that would help in the long run for people going into music fields.
So Morgan, why is music such a big part of your life?
Well, music is a big part of my life because, like, growing up, like, I have siblings and they all did music, including my mom, but they all did like the instrumentation part of it. So I was basically the only one who did like the vocal part, because I couldn't play anything. I tried to play, but my aunt passed, so I stopped because I couldn't do it by myself. So
you thought?
So So I thought, so I learned how to sing and do it properly, and I just took it and ran with it, and I learned that it was my gift, and so I just learned how to use it to my advantage and how to process it into the real world.
Wonderful. Wonderful. All right, so Violet. Well, it's like, yeah. What do you hope people get out of this whole experience when they see you all performing?
Well, I would think just people would get the message of unity and seeing that I think all of us are also big on youth getting the right representation. That includes women, men, people who identify as they, them, or anything like that. So I really just want people to like see and be like, I want to inspire like younger kids and be like, I want them to see it and be like, I could do that. I really want to do that. I want to try that. I want to be like them or something like that, you know? And just give people the inspiration or motivation that they need, especially right now, because times are different and they're hard and we're getting through. And there are people out there who really want to make a difference.
Yeah. What about you, Sanaya?
I feel the same way. I would really like people to know because, like Raya said, the times now are hard, and a lot of, not men per se, but a lot of people are starting to look down on women. But they forget that women are the blueprint. Like, none of us would be here without women. And then it took the blood, sweat, and tears of former women like Maya Angelou and a lot of other women to speak on justice. And I feel that us making a song, we can empower little ones and say, hey, you can do this too. Just because somebody tear you down doesn't mean that you can't fight and you can't do it.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I feel like I want them to really just listen to the lyrics. Like, listen. Really think about what is going on in the lyrics because Sephora said hers was different, and I don't know if she meant melodically or any of that, but as far as lyrics, I feel like hers really told a story, and that's what I loved about the song. Like, everybody touched on a different part of what women experience, you know, and people think that now things have changed because, you know, women, they're able to get these jobs that they weren't used to and all that, but it's deeper than that. Like, it still exists, you know.
We still make less money than men. So.
I mean, like, it's still here. So I feel like they should really, really listen and pay attention to the lyrics and just like, oh, cute little girls doing a cute song, you know, like, listen.
You are women.
You are women. Period.
You want to say something, Sephora?
Piggyback off of what Kirsten said, the video, there's so many different things going on in the video, but it's like, even when you're here and you're in the video, you're listening to every single thing, and like the lyrics, like I wasn't even focusing on them particularly, and I'm still over here looking at all of them and looking at their lyrics, and it just pops out so big in like bold letters, and it's so cool to just replay that over and over again because it's so good and so amazing just to like listen to the things. Like, really, the video is fun and stuff, but like the words and the lyrics are absolutely amazing. And this one scene, I'm by myself, except I'm not because they're back there too, but I'm on the tennis court and stuff. But when we were all on the bleachers together is one of my favorite scenes, actually, of the whole thing. And then there's this one scene I didn't even know that they were filming. We were all laughing, we were all smiling, and Noah like almost fell back and something. It was like really cool.
So, do you all feel empowered?
Yes.
100%.
Wonderful.
We empower each other a lot.
Wonderful. And now you're going to empower others.
Yes.
All right, wonderful. All right, hello. I can't snap. All right, well, I've asked you about all the questions I can come up with. Is there anything else you think needs to be said or added about what you all have accomplished?
Yeah.
Every person that I have played with, their favorite line of the song was, "We're not horses." That you ride on. Pull out my side on. That line is like, hey, one I want to let you know.
Piggybacking off of that, Rachel, Miss Claire was in this video too, and we were sitting down and we were about to eat the cupcakes and stuff like that. Miss Claire sat on the chair and was like, "Women make the world go round." I was like, "Hold up." Because first of all, I was like shook. I was like, and every time I'm just telling you guys, every time I replay that is so amazing. I was like practicing the other day. I'm just like, "Women make the world go round." So
you're finding inspiration all over the place. That's wonderful.
I think whatever you do, no matter what it is, you can do anything. Like if you want to be the next president of the United States, you can do it. Because I've had conversations with a lot of different men, and they're always like, I just don't think being president is a woman's place, or I don't think that women can do this or women can do that. Like, there's really nothing different between a woman or a man, so I don't see why we couldn't do anything. And I just want to tell everybody in this room and everybody in the world that I love you guys, and you can do whatever you put your mind to.
My turn. I want to say some words. First off, I'm about to pick on you, Kirsten. I don't think you understand how many times I've just gone around the house. A woman's power. That's me walking around the house. I just want you to know that your verse is stuck in my head permanently. But yes, now I feel like it's very important for just not even just women to listen to the words of the song. I think everybody should hear it, because while it is very much a women's empowerment song, I feel like some of the words can hit other people very hard. And like Noah was saying, the number of times I've heard a man or a boy come up to me and say, "Oh, you can't do that. You're not made for that. You can't do this." And every time I do it, I just kind of look back and what did you say? What did you say? But I definitely feel like the song is worth a listen and watching the video, because I guarantee you there was so much chemistry going on as we were working, and it kind of just made everything fall together even better, because we are always hyping each other up. And so it just kind of made everything fall in place really well.
I'm jealous. Can I be an honorary sister?
Yes. Come on. Really, just come on. Welcome to the group. Welcome to the group.
Well, I wish you all continued success. You all sound amazing. And just listening to you talk right now, I can't wait to see the project myself. So thank you. Thank you for letting me take part in this small way.
Yes. Come back.
Okay, y'all heard that.